Hi everyone, welcome back. This is your teacher Mariana Naranjo, and welcome to this last class. So today we are going to learn about the type of sentence. We are going to start with the index. During the first step, we are going to talk about the simple sentences. That is composed by subject and verb. The second step, we are going to talk about the time expressions. Additional to this, we are going to talk about the punctuation. In the last step, there is super important, is about the compound sentence and connections. This is composed by two simple sentences and linked by connectors. We are going to start with the first step, that is simple sentence. We need to know that simple sentence contains only the subject and the verb. This is the only thing that we need to know if we need to create, or for example, if we are going to analyze a sentence. That a simple sentence only have a subject and a verb. And it's important to know that subject is usually placed before the verb. So we are going to see an example. For example, Mariana loves. For example, we have that Mariana, it's a subject, and loud, that is it's the verb. As you can see, we have a little note that says simple sentence is one subject and one verb. Only one subject and one verb. So we're going to see another examples that in yellow color we have the subject, in a green color we have a verb. For example, the cat scratched. For example, as the subject we have the cat, and the verb scratch. Jacob stood on his tiptoes. So Jacob is the subject, and for example we have as a stood, we have stood as a verb. But for example, it's important to know that we can have a complement, and it is okay. It's important to have only one subject and one verb. We can see the subjects and the verbs in these examples. So we already know what is a simple sentence, and it's very, very easy. So we are going to do an activity when you are going to create a sentence. For example, in this worksheet, I'm going to give you, for example, a subject, and you are going to create, for example, the verb, and it is possible the complement. But for example, in another exercise, I'm going to give you the verb and the complement, and you are going to put your respective subject. So this is the first activity. The second activity, we are going to analyze the sentence. It is complete, looking for the subject and the verb. It's important to know and analyze that the sentence have the subject and the verb, and if it is not have these things, we are going to write the right option. For example, want to be a computer engineer, but who wants to be a computer engineer? So in this case, it's missing the subject, so I'm going to write the right way using a subject. So my little students, I saw that you already understand very good that part because it's very easy and you already got it. So in this part we are going to talk about the transition expressions and punctuation, and I need that you paid a lot of attention because it is very important to the next step. Okay, so it's important to know that transition expressions are these little words or that words that connect that ideas. For example, it is used to enjoy, to connect one idea with another idea. For example, I can say one idea here, another here, and no more. I need to connect that, and for that reason, we have a lot of type of transitions expressions. But we are going to talk about what is the function of transition expressions. We can start that the transition expressions help us to improve the readability and comprehension of a text or a simple conversation. It is used to organize thoughts in paragraphs. It is used to clarify and emphasize one idea. It's, for example, to have coherence and cohesion when in the moment that we are talking about something. And something that is the most important is to connecting ideas. Okay, so now we are going to talk about the type of transition expressions, and we are going to talk about this. And I know that you already heard about that because it's very usually to hear that. For example, we have transitions of additions, that is, for example, additional, in addition, also. For example, we have transitions of cause and effect, that is, for example, therefore, as a result, etc. We have sequence and chronologic, for example, first, second, then, finally, that it have for example, a sequence. So we have emphasis, that is, for example, indeed, in fact, especially, etc. For example, we have a summary and conclusion. For example, we have words easy, for example, in conclusion, in summary, ultimately, something like that. And you know that is very easy in common words. We have clarification, that is when I need to clarify an idea. For example, the fact, that is to clarify. Examples and illustrations. We had, for example, specifically, something like that. And the last one, we have comparison and contrast, that is, for example, however, in contrast, in comparison, similarly, something like that. Some words like this we use to connect that idea. And you can say, for example, it is a lot of words, I need to memorize that words when I need to use it, but it's very easy. And with these examples, you are going to realize that it's very easy. It's just according to the context. It is a simple word that we with all of our knowledge, we know what word we need to use. So, for example, in these examples, we have additionals, debut service, we run on Saturdays every 2 hours. we are, for example, in any conversation and we are talking about the okay, additional to the taxis, to the cart, the bus service, it's something more. Okay. The second one, there are many interesting places to visit in the city. So, for example, the botanical garden and art museum. It's very simple word that is, for example, it is a word to give examples. Simple words that, for example, in some cases we need to learn the literally meaning, but it's very easy. So after that we have an activity. So I'm going to give you an history, okay? And depending on the history and according to the type of transitions we are going to use, what is the better option to organize and give the a correlation at the history with these options. Okay, so we're going to do a good job, and at the end we are going to socialize the answers. And the second activity, we are going to do a personal write, writing a funny story about your life. Simple. Using, for example, transition expressions, for example, sequence, cause and effect, additions, something like that in our text. Okay, talking about a funny story about our life. And we are going to talk about the punctuation when we use transition expressions. So it is important to know that comma frequently is after each transition expressions. So transition expressions are usually at the beginning of the sentence, usually, not always, usually. And at the beginning of the sentence, after transitions, are usually a period. Okay, so and that we can see in the example. Congratulations, because you did a good work. Okay, so I need that you continue practice the transition expressions. It's only a simple and normal words. Okay, so in this part we are going to talk about compound sentence and connectors. And you maybe are ask yourself, but what is that? Before the compound sentence, it's important to know about the connectors. Okay, and connectors, that is important. That is a word that connects two simple sentences. Okay, we already learned about the simple sentences. So we have one sentence that is verb, that is subject and verb. In the middle of that we have a connector that is joined with another simple sentence that could be subject and verb. Okay, so the connectors help us to forming a logical sentence, because as I said before, I can say some things in the air. For example, I can say a simple sentence and other simple sentence, only simple ideas. No, I need to build logical ideas, a logical a logical speech. Okay, as in Spanish, we are talking and talking and talking with different things. So, for example, we have connectors of time, of condition, of contracts, or reasons. Okay, so for example, in the time we have while, as soon as, when, where. Conditions we can say as long as, unless, even if. Contrast, that is the most useful, that is the most common. For example, although, even, in spite of, however. Reason is so that, so therefore. Cause and effect, because. So, word that we know, because, as a result, since, consequently, etc. Okay, so we're going to see what is a compound sentence. So a compound sentence is the union of two simple sentences through a connector. That is a compound sentence. So the structure, we can two types of a structure. That the first one could be subject verb, that is a simple sentence, plus connector, plus another simple sentence that is a subject or a verb. The other way we have connector plus two simple sentences. Okay, so we are going to see a little examples. That the first one is, for example, I love you because you are so sweet. In this case, is with the first structure, that the connector is in the middle of the sentence. Okay, they can go wherever they want. Okay, the same case, wherever it is a connector, and it is in the middle of the sentence. Okay, but for example, this, since I see you, I'm better. Since is a connector, and it is at the beginning of the sentence, and it could be because I have the connectors in two simple sentences. Easy. And we already know what is a compound sentence, that is used with a connector. Okay, that is a compound sentence. We need to know a connector. But before this topic, we learn about transitions. So in this case, we are going to talk about the transitions when we are using as a compound sentence. For example, the transitions, when we use it with the compound sentence, it is to construct and give more details and elaborate sentence. It is more detailed sentence, very, very detailed. And it is important to know that always the transitions, it is at the beginning of the sentence, and it is always have a comma. Okay, so the structures, as I said before, the transitions always in the first position. Okay, after that we can have a simple sentence plus connection plus simple sentence, or transitions plus connector but simple sentence. Okay, so we are going to see a little examples. For example, we have, for this reason. It depends of the context that I use the transitions. For this reason, I love you because you are so sweet. In this part, we have the transitions in a blue color and connector with red color. Okay, in fact, he have climbed many mountains when he was a boy. In fact, it's a transitions when it is a connector. Okay, so it is important to know when we use transition expressions and when we use connector expressions. Okay, this part we have two activities. Okay, so in this first activity you should write the sentence that I'm gonna give you, adding a connector and adding an transition connection. As you know, transition expressions are at the beginning of the sentence, and remember the structure of this compound sentence. Okay, so I'm going to give you some simple sentences and you are going to join it, okay, using transitional expressions and connectors according to what you want to say and using that word. And the second one is you are going to analyze if the sentence that I'm gonna give you it's a simple sentences or a compound sentences. So remember that simple sentences is only one subject and only one verb, but compound sentence is one simple sentence joined with a connect with another simple sentence. Okay, so we are going to start with this activity to socialize. Okay, my little kids, very good. I need that you continue memorizing, that you continue using these different words as a transition expression and connectors to be more fluid. Okay, we need to have a good speech using these words. Okay, so you did a great job. I want to congratulate you because you did a very good work for today. So this is our last class. I hope that you learned a lot of in this semester, and obviously lots of love. Okay, see you.